Hello, everyone. This is Shannon Miller here, founding member of Klean Freaks University. And this is my little mini course on how to price your house cleaning services. This presentation really is all about you. It is a mini version of the course that I provide on my website. It's called the Pricing Blueprint Masterclass. So if you're looking for the full course, you can find it there. I have been in this industry as a cleaning business owner for over a decade. It's called maid-broker.com. Sorry, we have a bad fire burning up here in northern Arizona. And I have also been a cleaning business coach for about 5 years now. I've personally taught thousands of other cleaning business owners how to price their services. How you price your services will affect every decision you make for your cleaning business. The reason why I enunciated all those words bunched together is because price really does affect every decision that you make for your business. So make sure you know what you're doing so that you're making top dollar. It also will affect your labor costs, your margins, your profit, and ultimately how many clients you will have. When we are new to the house cleaning industry, many of us were charged by the hour because that's all we know. We just don't know any better. When I started in this industry over a decade ago, I charged a mere $25 an hour. I laugh every time I see that amount. I didn't know what to price for or how to sell my services, so I asked all my friends and family what I should charge. Typically, this is how regional pricing happens because we ask our friends and family for pricing advice. They then tell us what they think that they can afford to pay us in case they want to use us later, when in reality, our friends and family are never going to be our demographic ever. And we've also been groomed as a society to believe that we can only charge an hourly rate, which is not true. There are thousands of cleaning businesses still charging $25 to $35 an hour. Sometimes that's even a team of two. Breaks my heart when I see it. This price point is considered your local regional price point. And what I mean by that is I'll call up Flag and I'll ask ABC Cleaning Company. I'm like, hey, what are you charging? They're like $25. Then I'll call Blue Sky Cleaning Company and they'll say, hey, what are you charging? They're like $25, right? And then I'll charge the dirt remover professionals. And I'm like, hey, what are you charging? And they're like $25. So then I'm like, well, gosh, I guess I should charge $25, right? Then you get in this game of competing with price. And when in actuality, you want to be considered a luxury service, which is what we are. But most importantly, you want to build your brand. So you don't want to compete with anyone over pricing because you're just one of a dozen. And you want to work on branding and creating a name for yourself. So you need to charge top dollar because that's going to take some money. So don't compete with others in our industry based on price. We've all heard of the analogy, an 8-ounce bottle of water costs $1 at a restaurant. That same 8-ounce bottle of water costs $5 at the movies. I paid that the other day. And then that same bottle of water at the spa is now $10. So you're providing the experience. They're paying for your expertise. When you're charging by the hour, you will come into a couple of problems. The very first thing that you will have is clock watchers. Well, if you get them over the threshold of the price, I guess the second thing will be the clock watchers. So once you learn the house, you'll become so fast that you or your cleaning techs that you send out will have to find things extra to do in order to stay for the scheduled allotted time, right? And after a while, they're going to run out of extra things to do. Then they're going to start to leave 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 15 minutes there. And the homeowner's going to be like, hey, you owe me some time. And when in reality, that hasn't been the case. You've actually already been working at a flat rate price. So ask yourself how many times you've stayed over 5 minutes here to finish the floors because the homeowner walked across it, or the alarm wouldn't work, so you stayed an extra 10 minutes to get a hold of the homeowner, or you stayed an extra 15 minutes because garage door wouldn't shut. Then technically you're not going to present them with a bill and say you owe me an extra 15 minutes because your garage door wouldn't work, right? Kind of works both ways. So you already are charging a flat rate. You just aren't realizing it. I quickly realized if I wanted to meet all of my financial goals, I needed to learn how to charge a flat rate. When you charge a flat rate, you decide how fast or slow you are going to clean, or your cleaning techs are going to clean, right? When I was out cleaning, I actually could clean 1,000 square feet in an hour. Not everyone can clean that. So I would do 2 to 3 homes every day. Way back when, at the time, I purchased 2 books from the internet, one from the internet and one from a local bookstore. It's amazing to think how we don't have any bookstores anymore. Neither book had any information on pricing or margins. There legitimately was only 2 books on the market. Come to think of it, they only discussed basic operations and generalizations of the cleaning business, and most of the info was commercial based. There wasn't any spot for house cleaning even back then. There were not Facebook groups or Facebook itself. There wasn't a lot of social media. All this was relatively a new thing. So there wasn't really anyone I could reach out and collaborate with. And I couldn't call the local franchise owner and say, hey, can you help me out a price? Because they paid thousands of dollars for their franchise. Why would they want to help me out, right? So I had to invent the wheel, so to speak. So with some trial and error, I eventually figured out what I should be charging, and I experimented a lot. I obviously, and still to this day, believe that you should charge the maximum rate of what the market will bear. So whatever that threshold is what I think that you should charge and get away with it. What are national averages? This is the current price point that all professional cleaning services are charging for their services. So basically, all of the professional cleaning services are charging close to the same rate. So there isn't a variance of $10 an hour, or $15 an hour, or $25 an hour. Where all of the professionals are charging right now $55 to $65 an hour per person, unless you're on a coast, which is what we're going to discuss next. As of the filming of this video, the national average in Middle America is right around $55 to $65 an hour per person. And you're like, what? I'm not in Middle America. For the ease and use of this video, I consider Middle America. I live in Arizona. Anything from Arizona all the way over to right before Massachusetts. Those are the coasts. Everything else is considered in the middle. And if you are on a coast, a California coast or an East Coast, then you should be charging roughly right around $95 an hour per person. This knowledge of what national averages are is changing more and more as more new and seasoned cleaning business owners are educated to what those national averages are. So the industry is changing, and it makes me so excited to be able to help everyone along. And in case you need it, here is a daily goal for 100K in your very first year. So if this was part-time for you, you would need to work 3 days a week, and you'd have to goal yourself at a flat rate price of $600 a day. You will gross $93,600. And if you worked 5 days a week, and you just need to have a goal of $400 a day, flat rate price, and you'll gross 104K in a year. It's really actually pretty easy to do. When I was out cleaning solo by myself before I had a business and employees and offices and all the stuff that went along with it, I actually, on average, grossed about 130K a year. So it is doable, it is achievable, and it is realistic. We've already kind of discussed what hourly is. So if you present $55 an hour per person and you want to work with your teammate, that's $110 an hour. It's a hard sell. It really is going to be a hard sell for you to give that to the homeowner. They're going to have lots of issues with that, and there's lots of things that are going to go on. So flat rate really is the only way to gross 100K in your very first year. So you need to learn how to do that, right? And then square footage does have a play into it, and you're going to have some resistance to the square footing price, but really not as bad as hourly. And right now, the square foot price for any regular maintenance cleaning is roughly 10 to 12 cents a square foot. Obviously, on the coast, it's going to be more. When you're charging an hourly rate, like I mentioned, it's going to be a harder sell. You're going to get resistance, and they're going to give you, well, anyone can clean. Well, yes, we know anyone can clean, but not everyone can do a good job cleaning. And they don't know all of the tricks of the trade, and they're not going to be able to get in and out efficiently. They're not going to be able to give you that presence of, oh my gosh, my home is clean. I love you. I love you. I love you. Right? Some of them will even try to shame you into a lower price. Stick with your guns. Don't lower your price. So make sure that you are sticking to your guns and you're not lowering your price. And don't be shamed into going into a lower price. You'll always regret it. Or sometimes sometimes the cleaning business owner does not know any better and will charge $60 an hour for a team of 2 people. I've seen that a lot, especially in the last year. Learning to bid a flat rate is the only way to gross $100K plus per year, even in your first year. I already mentioned that. There are obviously other things you need to have in place. So this is just a starting point, a launching point for you to start off on the right foot. What is a production rate? Production rate is the amount of time a professional cleaning person can work in an hour. As I've already mentioned, I used to clean 1,000 square feet in an hour. I obviously don't clean anymore. I don't know if I could clean 1,000 square feet in an hour. I get asked that question all of the time. But way back when, in my younger days, when I was a lot more sprightly and bendable, I could clean 1,000 square feet in an hour, and I used to clean 2 to 3 homes every day by myself. And there are different production rates based on residential and commercial and what type of cleaning job is being performed. So there's move-out cleanings, top to bottom deluxe cleanings, move-in cleanings, post-construction cleanings, regular maintenance cleanings, factory cleanings. I've come across so many different types of cleanings there are. So it's going to be slightly different in the production rates. But for a regular, good old-fashioned home, it's going to be right around 500 to 600 square feet in an hour. As this slide mentions, I like this slide because she's got multiple hands right here. So if you are a professional cleaning person, you should be able to clean 500 to 600 square feet per hour for regular maintenance cleaning. Learn what the differences are between regular maintenance cleaning and top to bottom deluxe cleaning. For ease of math, let's just say you have a home that's 1,500 square feet, and let's say you're charging $55 an hour per person. Remember, I usually work solos. And this is a price, if you have $55 an hour and you think it's going to take 3 labor hours, it's going to be 55 times 3, which is going to give you your 165 price. And you're always going to give a range, right? So you have a bump. So in case it's a little bit of wiggle room, you can decide what the price is going to be. Some people are neater than others, right? Sometimes you're going to a house and you're just like, I'm looking for dirt and I can't find any dirt. And other times you could tell who lives in their home, right? They're hard on their home every single time. So 165 to 182 per visit. Obviously, if you live in a higher population and you can get more money, take it. This price can increase significantly on the East and West Coast. So we give the same example of the $95 an hour per person. Again, I only work in solos for 3 labor hours, which is roughly $285 per visit. If you were to divide that by 2, you could figure out the math on how much so you need to be able to clean that whole house in 1.5 hours. If you're located on the East Coast, be aware that some 1,500 square foot homes can have 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, and a basement. A lot of the homes on the East Coast are older, over 100 years old, so make sure you're asking. And if they do have 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, make sure you're charging at least $190 to $225 per visit. Did you know that here in the United States, we are the largest consumers of house cleaning services in the world? I didn't know this. Someone told me this the other day. And UK, which is what I thought would be the number 1 spot, is actually the number 2 spot. And the great island of Australia is in the number 3 spot, which I found was really interesting. It's really easy to get into the house cleaning industry, but it's hard to stay in the house cleaning industry. You need structures in place that actually work, proven structures, and pricing is just the first step. 70% of all cleaning businesses undercharge for their services. Remember, we are considered the 23rd trade and that you're not charging for your time, but the results that you are offering. Again, I reiterate my tagline, we don't clean for crumbs. So don't leave money on the table and make sure you're charging top dollar. In 2023, they estimate that over 55,000 new cleaning business owners will start their cleaning businesses this year here in the United States. Yay! Lots of opportunity for entrepreneurs. This is a great business model for anyone who has been laid off from a tech job. So I see a lot of happening in our industry in the next year. It's super exciting. In reiteration, make sure that you're charging only flat rates. Base your pricing off what the current national averages are. Make sure you know what your production rates are for your cleaning techs, and make sure that you're making top dollar on each job. If you need to get a hold of me, you can write to my P.O. Box in Sedona, or you can go right to my website in Klean Freaks University, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And thank you for spending your time with me. I know that there was a lot of other people to pick from. And thank you, Maid Summit, for allowing me to speak. And again, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. You guys take care.